What if I told you that you don't need to be a genius, win the lottery, or invent the next big tech company to become wealthy? What if the real secret to building wealth is something simple, something boring, something almost invisible? It's called compound interest. And according to Albert Einstein, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He supposedly said, "He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." Today, I'm going to show you why compound interest is the most powerful financial force in the world, and how it can either make you rich or keep you broke. What is compound interest? Let's start simple. Compound interest is when you earn interest not just on your original money, but also on the interest that money has already earned. In other words, your money makes money, and then that money makes even more money. It's like planting a tree. At first, it's just a small seed. But over time, it grows branches. Then those branches grow more branches. And eventually you have a forest. That's compounding. Now compare that to simple interest, where you only earn interest on the original amount. Simple interest grows in a straight line. Compound interest grows like a snowball rolling downhill. Slow at first, massive at the end. The $100 example. Let's make this real. Imagine you invest $100 at a 10% annual return. Year 1. You make $10. Now you have $110. Year 2. You don't just earn 10% on $100. You earn 10% on $110. Now you have $121. Year 3. You earn 10% on $121. Now you have $133.10. See what's happening? The growth keeps accelerating. Now imagine this over 30 years. That $100 becomes $1,744. You didn't add more money. Time did the work. The real magic is time. Here's the truth most people don't understand. Compound interest doesn't reward money. It rewards time. Let's compare two people. Person A invests $200 per month starting at age 20. They stop at age 30. They only invested for 10 years. Person B starts at age 30. They invest $200 per month until age 60. They invest for 30 years. Who wins? Surprisingly, person A often ends up with more money, even though they invested for a shorter period. Why? Because their money had more time to compound. Starting early beats investing more later. That's the power of time. Real-world example. The stock market. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned around 8 to 10% per year on average over the long term. If you invested $500 per month at a 10% annual return for 30 years, you would invest $180,000. But your total value? Over $1 million. That means over $800,000 came from growth, not your own money. That's compounding working silently in the background. No hype. No lottery. Just consistency and time. Why most people miss out. The compound interest is so powerful. Why doesn't everyone use it? Because it's boring. It doesn't make you rich next week. It doesn't go viral. It doesn't look exciting on Instagram. In the first few years, growth looks tiny, almost pointless. But most people quit before the magic happens. Compounding is like watching water boil. Nothing seems to happen until suddenly everything changes. We live in a world addicted to quick results. Compound interest rewards patience, and patience is rare. The dark side of compounding. Now here's something important. Compound interest can work against you too. Credit cards, personal loans. High interest debt. If your credit card charges 20% interest, that interest compounds. You're not just paying interest on what you borrowed. You're paying interest on interest. That's how small debt becomes financial disaster. This is why wealthy people use compounding to build assets. And financially struggling people experience compounding through debt. Same principle, different direction. The rule of 72. Here's a powerful shortcut. The rule of 72. Take 72 and divide it by your annual interest rate. That tells you how many years it takes to double your money. If you earn 8%, 72 divided by 8 is equal to 9 years to double. If you earn 12%, 72 divided by 12 is equal to 6 years to double. This shows how powerful even small increases in return can be. A few percentage points make a massive difference over decades. How to use compound interest. So how do you actually apply this? Start early. Even small amounts matter. Invest consistently. Monthly investing beats waiting for the perfect time. Reinvest your returns. Dividends, interest, let them compound. Avoid high-interest debt. Don't let compounding work against you. Be patient. Wealth grows quietly. Many successful investors, including Warren Buffett, built their fortune largely because they started young and allowed compounding to work for decades. Buffett didn't become ultra-wealthy overnight. Most of his wealth came after age 50. That's compounding over time. Visualize your future. Imagine two futures. Future 1, you delay investing. You spend everything. You depend only on salary. Future 2, you invest consistently. You let compounding work. You give your money time. In 20 years, the difference is massive. Not because of luck. Not because of genius. Because of discipline. Small daily financial decisions become life-changing over decades. Here's the truth. Compound interest is slow. It's boring. It's invisible. But it is unstoppable. It rewards consistency. It rewards patience. It rewards long-term thinking. You don't need to earn millions to become wealthy. You need to give your money time. The earlier you start, the less you need to invest, and the easier your financial life becomes. The biggest mistake isn't investing wrong. It's waiting too long to start. Time is either your greatest financial asset or your biggest regret. The choice is yours. The 5-year illusion. One of the biggest reasons people underestimate compound interest is because of what I call the 5-year illusion. In the first 5 years of investing, the results look small. You check your account and think, that's it? That's all I made. Feels slow. Almost disappointing. But what you don't see is that the foundation is being built. Compounding is backloaded. The real explosion happens later. Look at most long-term investment charts, especially something like the S&P 500 over 20 or 30 years. The curve doesn't rise in a straight line. It curves upward sharply toward the end. The first decade builds momentum. The second decade builds wealth. This is why quitting early is so dangerous. When you stop investing after 5 years because it's not working, you're walking away right before the snowball becomes unstoppable. Think of it like pushing a heavy car. At first, it barely moves, you struggle, you sweat. It feels impossible. But once it gains momentum, it rolls with far less effort. That's compounding. Most people give up before momentum kicks in. The wealthy stay consistent long enough to let physics do the work. And in finance, patience isn't just a virtue. It's a multiplier.